Hello everyone, today I would like to talk about our planet. We currently have about 7.5 billion people on the Earth. The US has about 320 million people. If you do the math, the United States is only about 5% of the Earth's population. However, the United States uses 20% of the Earth's energy, eats 15% of the Earth's meat, and produces 40% of the Earth's garbage. If everyone in the world lived the way Americans did, we would need 4.1 planets to support this kind of consumption. Taking a look at China, they have over 4 times the population of the US at 1.4 billion. And yet, if everyone in the world lived like they do in China, we would only need 1.1 planets, just an extra 0.1 of a planet. Looking at the data, it's safe to say that the US needs to control its consumption rates. Now, that isn't to say that other countries shouldn't control their consumption rates as well. When we consume at this high rate, not only are we using up vital, non-renewable resources, but we are contributing to the destruction of the planet. Let's take a look at some of the big problems the world currently faces. One of the biggest problems we face is global warming. Global warming is the recent and ongoing rise in global average temperature near the Earth's surface. It is caused by increasing concentrations of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The majority of greenhouse gases comes from burning fossil fuels to produce energy. This powers our cars, buses, trains, and so on. Greenhouse gases can also come from deforestation, industrial processes, and some agricultural practices. In other words, humans are largely responsible for this increase in greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases trap energy in the atmosphere, acting somewhat like a blanket, causing the Earth to warm. The buildup of greenhouse gases can also cause Earth's climate to change. Climate change and global warming go hand in hand and contribute to several other environmental issues. Climate change is not only the temperature, but the wind pattern, precipitation, and other effects which occur over several decades or longer. Some of the things climate change and global warming have contributed to are the warming of ocean temperatures, shrinking ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica, declining Arctic sea ice, sea level rise, and an increase in natural disasters. For example, if you have ever seen one of those older endangered animal commercials, picturing a polar bear clinging to a piece of ice just big enough to float on a large body of water, then you have seen one of the highly damaging effects of climate change. All of this information could be a bit overwhelming for some of us. These are so many harmful effects stemming from one thing, an increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. There are some steps we can take to lessen the amount of greenhouse gases we emit into the atmosphere. If possible, walk or bike to work, school, or other destinations. This avoids driving or public transportation, so no greenhouse gases will be emitted. It is also a very healthy alternative since it involves exercise. In situations where one would have to drive, see if it is possible to carpool with someone else if you are both going to the same destination. That way, there will only be emissions from one car instead of 2 or more. Also, if you are in the market for buying a car, try to find one with a high mile per gallon. You will not have to fill your tank as much, and your vehicle will be more fuel efficient. This may seem like small changes, but if enough people participate, we could dramatically decrease greenhouse gas emissions. Another issue we face is overexploitation. Overexploitation is the overuse of wildlife and plant species by people for food, clothing, pets, medicine, sport, and many other purposes. The hunting, trapping, collecting, and fishing of wildlife at unsustainable rates has been going on for many years. Unfortunately, it has led to the endangerment and even extinction of several species. If too many individuals of a species are taken from their natural environment, the species may no longer be able to survive. The loss of one species can affect many other species in the ecosystem. Overfishing in freshwater and saltwater can cause several different populations of fish to decline, such as swordfish, tuna, walleye, and whitefish. Close to 30% of globally threatened birds are threatened by overexploitation, particularly parrots, pigeons, and pheasants. Illegal hunting still threatens many species, such as tigers, rhinoceros, and bear, whose body parts are highly valued and even used as medicine in some parts of the world. Amphibians are hunted for food, medicine, pet trade, and to be dissected in science classes. Some reptiles, such as crocodile and python, are highly prized as exotic leathers. Chesapeake Bay oysters are now in a decline, as are horseshoe crabs and octopuses. Some plants, such as orchids, are so prized by collectors that they are now endangered and legally protected from poaching by international law. There are many laws in effect that protect some species from being overexploited and to prevent global trade of wildlife. To avoid overexploitation, we should only buy and use what we need and try to make use out of everything we have instead of continuing to buy more. We should also be sure to hunt or fish during the time of year that it is allowed, so the species can replenish. It is also important to follow hunting laws and endangered species laws, because we run the risk of extinction if we don't. These two issues alone present some alarming facts and contribute to several different problems. It shows the dangerous effects if humans do not change their ways of consumption. It's easy to tell the public to use energy-efficient light bulbs, to turn off the lights when they leave the room, and to turn off water when they brush their teeth. However, it is so much more than that. Most people are unaware of what is going on and how much humans are using. As previously stated, we need over 4 planets if everyone in the world lived like Americans. We use so much, but it's time to start giving back. We need to control our consumption rates, or else our planet will pay for it, and ultimately, so will we. Thank you for watching.